My name is Latoya Foster, and I am Mayor Bowser's spokeswoman. We want to thank you all so much for coming out to this evening's Budget Engagement Forum, the first of 3 Budget Engagement Forums. So this is the first, but not the last. And we know that you are bursting at the seams with ideas. Isn't that right? That's why you're here tonight, right? We want to hear all of your ideas and suggestions. In just a little while, we're going to have some group discussions at each of your tables. All right, everyone, have you given any thought to how you would allocate $100? Who knows what they would do with $100 right now? If perfect world, would it be for education, public safety, jobs and economic opportunity? All right now, housing, government operations, got to keep the government going, right? Health and human services. Well, this is your opportunity to have your voice heard. Does everyone have a game in front of them? Oh, everyone has a game? Everyone has a game, right? We want you to take a look at this, get your game out, and I want you to think about what you would do with $100. What is your priority? Isn't that why we're here tonight? All right, we want to hear all of your priorities. So let's get this game started, and we'll be getting started in just a few moments. And thank you again for coming out. It takes a lot of extraordinary people to make our government run, and we want to acknowledge everyone who's here in the audience tonight, starting with Ward 4 Council Member Brandon Todd. If he could stand right here. We also have Chief Lanier, MPD. All right. We have Deputy Mayor Snowden, our DMGO. Deputy Mayor for Economic Development, Brian Kenner. Deputy Mayor of Health and Human Services, Brenda Donald. Deputy Mayor for Education, Jenny Niles. Deputy Mayor for Public Safety, Kevin Donahue. Senior Advisor Beverly Perry. We also have joining us Director Weaver, Director Shorter, Director Kong, Director Carroll, Director Bowling, Director Mitchell, Director Donaldson, Director Anderson, Director Smith. Are they standing? Where are you? We want to see you. Director Hines, Director Royster, Director Harvey, Director Nesbitt, Director Reynolds, Director Davidson, and Director Turnage. We also have the principal, Saul Brown, with us. Where's our principal? There's our principal over there. And we have ANC Commissioners Gail Black, David Sheehan, Martha McIntosh, and Crystal Branton. Are they all here in the room? Thank you all so much for joining us this evening and for all the work you do each and every day. It is indeed my pleasure to introduce someone very special to each and every one of us. She came into office just last year, and when she came in, she made it clear that residents should have a seat at the table. Well, 1 year in, from day one, she's made sure that we all had a seat at the table and that we all ate from that table too. Can we agree on that? Not only did you have a seat, but you ate from that table too, because she created a pathway to the middle class, right? Right, all right. In everything she does, whether it's on education or health or jobs, she's serious about hearing from each and every one of you, all of you, our DC residents. So ladies and gentlemen, please give a hand to our mayor, Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Thank you. Oh, please, guys, hello, good evening. Please, let's get started. Thank you. Well, welcome to the home of the Rough Riders. What do you think of our beautiful Roosevelt Senior High School? We couldn't be more proud of the beautiful building, but certainly we're going to be even more proud of the great people and students who will be in this school starting this fall. So let's hear it for the Rough Riders one more time. And let's thank LaToya for that wonderful, energetic introduction. So this is our series we call the Budget Engagement Forums, and last year we started these forums with much success. I said then, and I repeat now, that when I was a council member, I was frequently frustrated that the mayors would work on their budgets and then give them to the council, and then the council would have hearings and hear from the public. Well, that's too late. So it's important because as we, and when I say we, I mean these guys, are putting all of the final touches and taking feedback from the agency directors, it's very important that we get this feedback now. We're literally working on, last year we had a budget, a capital and operating, where this government spent $15 billion. And we do a lot of that from the executive side of looking at the revenues coming in. The CFO will certify a certain amount, the expenditures from the previous year, and the priorities for the mayor, the priorities for the council members, and the priorities for the residents of the District of Columbia. So we flipped the process around. We've asked agencies for information. We've told them about what they have to spend. We're asking the council members for their priorities, and we want to hear your priorities too. The budget season in the district, really gets started in earnest, and it started probably when, Matt? November, okay? And we will submit, we like to call it, we use the term, we go with pencils down on the budget on March 11th. So it's really important today that we hear from you how we make these priorities happen. We started an exercise last year called the $100 challenge. You have the $100 exercise? And I hope that everybody will do the $100 exercise because we have outlined the big buckets of activities that this government is responsible for, and we want you to help us set some priorities within that $100. We learned a lot of interesting things from that process last year, and I think that we will learn even more this year from the $100 challenge. So let me tell you what we were able to get done last year. So when I came into office, we had a $192 million gap. Day one, when we walked in the door. That just means that the amount of money estimated to come in exceeded the expenditures that we needed to make by $192 million. The expenditures exceeded the revenues, I should say. So we worked with all of the agencies to close that gap. But then there were all of the priorities that walking around every neighborhood in the District of Columbia, I heard from you. So we asked the agencies directors to help us close that $192 million gap. But then we added some things to it. So we actually had to close even more. So what were some of those priorities? First and foremost, we made a historic $100 million investment in affordable housing. What we've heard is that our city, and what we know from the facts, is that our city is prospering in a lot of ways. But a big anxiety in our city is how much housing costs are going up and how rapidly many people in the District of Columbia are finding it harder and harder to afford to live here. So I promised that our Housing Production Trust Fund would always have $100 million in it. Last year, that meant we had to find $45 million to add to the Housing Production Trust Fund, and we were able to do that. And in this budget, I'm committed to do that as well. We might need to do some more, right, Polly? That wouldn't hurt. We also committed to ending homelessness in the District of Columbia. I agreed with you that in a city as prosperous as ours, we could, with the right commitment, will, and resources and leadership, end homelessness for families, for veterans, and indeed end chronic homelessness in our city. What that means is that we pledge that a family, a person, a veteran experiencing homelessness, the situation should be rare, it should be brief, and it should be non-recurring. We started a difficult conversation a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? Right? Are you with me? We said we wanted to close DC General, and we said it was the collective responsibility of our entire city. So we introduced a plan to close DC General by 2018. And in order to do that, we're going to find replacement temporary housing for families in all 8 wards of the District of Columbia. Now, I know there are a lot of questions, and I expected that there would be. We have put out all of the information about how we site housing, how we're going to invest and make that housing fantastic for neighborhoods and families, and how we will live up to our commitment. Last year, we also made the biggest investment in education in the district's history. That's good. Because we all know that the pathway to the middle class starts with an excellent education. And I believe, like you, that in a city as prosperous as ours, we will make the investments necessary to give every resident of Washington, D.C. a fair shot. So we're going to keep talking about schools. We're going to talk about the capital commitment necessary to keep those promises. We're going to talk about the investments in staff and programs necessary to keep those promises, the initiatives necessary to catch up the young people who haven't experienced the progress that other students have seen in our city, and that's important for us too. We want to keep trust with our communities as well. That's why it was so important for me to work with the council to invest in a body-worn camera program for every patrol officer in Washington, D.C. We've got the funding. We're going to work with the officers. We have an excellent program that will make information available, and we know that this will help keep D.C. safer and stronger. We invested in expanding the Marion Barry Summer Youth Employment Program. We know that the pathway to the middle class starts with a good job experience that will allow you to build a resume and go out and compete in this changing economy so that you can afford the great quality of life that so many of us enjoy in the District of Columbia. We expanded it. We said that it's not just the 21-year-olds where the need ends. We know we have a lot of young people in that 22 to 24-year-old range who continue to need structured, good job experience so that they can get out there on their own. And we're grateful to the council for the first time supporting 1,000 summer jobs for 22 to 24-year-olds. We also invested in people and equipment for the first time in our fire and EMS system and in our 911 call takers that are going to help keep our city safer and stronger. I can go on and on about the things that we need to get done as a government. You are going to rely on us to make sure we have fire and police and schools and roads and buses and metro and what else? Paid family leave and housing and jobs. So these are the things that together we can work. There are not infinite resources, but there are enough resources to make the investments that's going to allow our city to continue to grow. In just a couple of weeks, the city administrator and I, with members of the council, are going to go up to New York City to talk to our bond rating agencies. And a lot of mayors will want to be in my shoes because the story I can tell about Washington, D.C. is tremendous. We continue to grow in our city. 1,000 people, it dipped for a second, but it's back up to 1,000 people net every month move to Washington, D.C. For the first time in a long time, I can tell the business community that Washington, D.C. is a good place to do business. We have stable taxes. We have a regulation agency that is working, that we're issuing licenses, we're doing inspections, and we're making it possible to open a business in a single day. We can tell young people that we are continuing to invest in our schools, and families are voting with their feet because they're coming back, and they keep coming back to our public schools. We're going to give a bump in our public education sector this year. Part of that bump is because the enrollment keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. That's when we know that we're doing right by our students, when parents continue to come back. We also know that we're among the safest cities in America, but we have some concerns right now. And we're going to make sure that our police department and our fire department have the resource, and our metro have the resources that they all need to keep Washington, D.C. safe. So this budget will reflect those priorities, and it will reflect our commitment to keeping this city prosperous, but making sure more Washingtonians can participate in that prosperity. Thank you for being here tonight. You're next up are going to hear from the people who are responsible for working with the council and working with the agency directors to present this budget. And I want to recognize and thank your council member for being so strong and steadfast, and not only advocating for Ward 4, because he's going to do that, but also just soaking up what it means to be one of 13 people that run the legislative branch of our government. And I'm really grateful for his support, but more than that, you should know that he knows, because I know, he worked with me for a long time. He knows what Ward 4 needs, and he makes sure that it's going to be represented in this budget. Councilmember Todd, thank you very much. So next up is the Budget Director, Matt Brown, to tell you a little bit more about this budget, and then you'll hear from the City Administrator.
Thanks and good evening. It's really exciting to see so many people here because you are going to have an impact on the decisions that are made through the budget process. So thank you so much, both residents and then also government employees who are sitting at each of the tables and will help make sure that we hear everything that you have to say. We all know that the district is unique, and that's why I love it. And our budget reflects that uniqueness. We're a city, a county, a state, a school district, probably more. It's a complicated job, it's a complicated budget, but it means that we have a lot of opportunities. My job, especially at this time of year, is to make sure that we have the best budget that we can. I work every day with the city administrator, the mayor, to make sure that the best decisions are being made with regard to the dollars that you pay in taxes. And during the year, I work with my staff to make sure that we're spending money the right way. Many of you know that our fiscal year aligns with the federal fiscal year. It begins in October, and you may wonder, October's a long way away. Why are we doing this now? We plan well far ahead, and I'll go through the budget calendar in just a second. The other thing that I want to make sure everybody knows about our budget is it has two main parts. The first we call the operating budget, and that's how we pay to keep the lights on, we pay for teacher salaries, we pay for maintenance, we pay for road care, fire protection, police protection, all those sort of annual expenses. We also build a lot of things, like the renovations to this wonderful school. We also build roads and bridges and community facilities, and we pay for that with what we call the capital budget. And we typically borrow money to pay for the capital budget, but that's how we organize. I mentioned earlier that we start early in the fiscal year. We start very early, rather, to work on our budget. And we actually started in November, as the mayor said, by going to our agency directors and asking them for their priorities. And this year, we asked them to work especially hard by budgeting their priorities first and letting us know first what is most important. We wanted them to look at every single expenditure in their budget and every single program to make sure that all the programs are achieving the results that we wanted. And if there was a better way to do something, we wanted them to tell us, and we set up a process to make that happen. We're now in, if you can see the chart up here, we're in the green period. Mayor develops the proposed budget, and that's why we need your help. We want to hear from you tonight about what is important to you. If you know Mayor Bowser, you know that there's a lot that she wants to do. And in the next few slides, we're going to walk through the budget priorities and talk about various categories of expenditures. Raise your hand if you live in a household where you can do every single thing that you want to with the budget that you have available. The district is no different. We can do a lot, but we can't do everything. And that's especially why we need your help. We need you to help us prioritize our expenditures so we're spending money the right way. And these are the categories we're going to talk about. And the city administrator is going to give you some examples of what's in each of these categories. But these are the main areas where we spend money. Job and economic opportunity, housing, public safety, education, health and human services, and government operations. All of these are important. But tonight we want you to help us direct our attention to what is especially important and where we need to direct dollars when the mayor releases her budget. And now the city administrator, Rashad Young, will speak to you in more detail about each of these categories. Thank you.
Well, good evening. Thank you, Matt. And so a budget really is a reflection of the community's priorities and its values. And our spending plan is a reflection of what's important to us and what we should focus on. And so again, this effort is really about hearing from you what you think we should focus on and telling us what's important. So Matt talked about these 6 categories that reflect the overall government's priorities. And what I want to do is just take a minute and share with you, sort of give you some context for those priorities. So 35% of our budget is spent on health and human services activities. That equates to about $4.6 billion. And then we spend about 19% each on education and government operations, and that's about $2.4 billion. About $1.5 billion, or 12%, is spent on debt service and retirement costs. So think of debt service as our credit card payment. So we borrow money to invest in capital projects. We borrowed money to build this school. We borrow money to build new infrastructure and to repair roads and to make those big significant capital investments. And we have to pay about $1.5 billion a year on our credit card payment for that borrowing. We spend about $1.3 billion on public safety activities. That's about 10% of our budget, and about $370 million on jobs and economic opportunity, which is 3%, and then 2% on housing activities. And so I want to just talk about, well, what do these billions of dollars actually translate to? What does it mean that we spend? Well, in jobs and economic opportunity, we spend money on training programs, on construction and business inspection, licensing and permitting, on providing arts learning and outreach, on neighborhood planning and support, and making sure that our CBEs, Certified Business Enterprises, remain in compliance. In the area of housing, the mayor talked about one of the signature priorities of this administration was to invest in affordable housing creation and preservation. And so we invest about $100 million annually in the Housing Production Trust Fund. We provide housing affordability through our vouchers, and that's $48 million. We support the local housing authority at $11 million, and we assist with the purchasing of homes at $10 million and improve and replace public housing in targeted neighborhoods. That's about a $44 million expenditure. In public safety, $536 million we spend in safeguarding the residents and visitors of the district through the investments that we make in the police department. $5 million for our body-worn camera initiative. $46 million for 911 and 311. So the infrastructure and the people, when you call 911 or report a service issue to 311, makes up that effort. $15 million on our crime lab. That helps process evidence and make sure that the police can use the evidence that they collect to make arrests and prosecute crimes. And we invest $232 million in fire and in emergency medical services. In the education space, for 88,000 public school children, both DCPS and public charter schools, we spend $1.4 billion operationally. $71 million for our University of District of Columbia and the community college, about $92 million in early childhood education, and $35 million for our library systems, and $39 million for parks and recreation. In the Health and Human Services priority, $150 million for homeless services that provide both emergency short-term housing as well as longer-term solution. We're going to invest $40 million in capital funds to close and replace DC General, $76 million in behavioral health, $8 million for nutrition programs and seniors, and about $3 billion in direct health care services through the management of our Medicaid program. In government operations, this is sort of the core services and what keeps the government humming. $69 million in sanitation and recycling, $49 million in energy efficiency and energy affordability, $43 million to maintain our roadways and our sidewalks and our streetlights and parking meters, $373 million for our transit investments, and that includes Metro Bus and Circulator and Rail and Paratransit, and then $137 million for the operation and maintenance of our facilities. And so I wanted to just share what these priorities are and a little bit about what we spend, because as you start to think about where to invest your $100 across these categories, I think it's helpful that you understand what are some of the programs and services that make up those categories. So again, we're going to turn you loose from our talking up here and ask you to start to think through how you would invest these resources for your priorities. And to give you the direction to do that, I'm going to call LaToya Foster back up to the podium. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Hello again. So now we're getting to the really important business here. It's all about you. This is the time that you can get really self-absorbed and think about what it is that you want to see in our budget. What do you think will make this city better? It's your time to have your voices heard. Each table has a facilitator. Table facilitators, can you hold your hands up? They are prepared to walk you through the exercise, and the facilitators have a copy of the PowerPoint so everyone can review those numbers that City Administrator Rashad Young just went over. So everyone, you will have approximately 25 minutes to share your priorities with your table mates. Then your table will take another 25 minutes to build the city's budget, just like you would build your own personal budget. And after you all had a chance to talk, we'll come back together as a group to compare notes. Sounds like a plan? It's gonna be fun, right? Looking for a way to spend money. That's always fun, right? All right, let's get busy, everyone. Thank you.
De esta lista, perdón,
We want to know that the investment that we're making in our home is respected by our neighbors and other residents.
We'll come back to those sheets later.
From education, healthcare to jobs.
Are we going to be a city where we spend more than, a third or half on health and human services, and what would give them?
It's education with 60. We didn't go that badly overboard. We went to 150, 60, and then 20 to the majority of others.
Okay.
But we have to bring it down.
You're over by a lot.
We're
going to try to wrap this up, and we want to hear what the tables had to say. And I think that the loudest table, at least from my perspective, was table 6. So we have a microphone, and I want to hear from table 6. I want to hear how it went. Who at table 6 can give us a debrief?
We are table 6. My name is Solomon Palmer. I'm a proud resident of Ward 4. Give it up for Ward 4! And we worked very strategically with our budget, and as we looked at our budget, one of the first things that we agreed upon was that we had to work consistently and collaboratively. And so, as you can see, our budget is a people's budget. It's a people's budget. It recognizes the importance of education as it represents our future, truly a pathway to the middle class, as well as, and I'm moving right along because I know time is of the essence here, but I want to talk to around here at this 35% of our budget. We increased Health and Human Services, and we want to put a shout out to the mayor that we want to make sure that the budget for the senior service living in age increases some. Amen for the seniors. And moving right along, also education, and I want to speak also, we had a very good discussion with our chief over here about the importance of education and the relationship between that and incarceration. We agreed that we need to start spending more money on education and intervention and other kinds of programs so we don't have to be incarcerating ourselves out of here. We're not going to police ourselves out of here. Thank you. And where else are we at? And then, of course, housing. Housing is another major concern in Washington, D.C. We believe that we're big enough that everybody can live in this city and housing will truly be affordable. And so thank you so much from Table 6.
Great. Mayor, I think Table 6 did a great job. And one other table that Another table that I was just told about was Table 8. Apparently you all get the math award with decimal points in your answers. So I think we need to hear from somebody from Table 8.
We were also very collaborative in how we came together with our numbers. And if you see, we funded education the highest at 25.4. So we thought that our table agreed that that was the most important one. And then public safety, jobs, economic opportunity, and health and human services all got 17.9. And then about 10 each for housing and government ops and operations. And the way that we came to this was that originally our budget, when we went around the table, it was 140. So we were $40 over. So we just multiplied everything by 71%, and we got new numbers. And then we did a little bit of change. We changed a few things after that to reprioritize, but we decided that that's how we'd get to our balanced budget.
All right, good job, Table 8. I also have a couple of openings in my office, so I'll make sure that you all have job applications. All right, I've got Table 19. Well, I saw 19 first. All right, tell us what you got, Table 19.
All right. My name is Karen Lucas. We're from Ward 8. Most of us, this is my high school coach, Wanda Oates, you guys. You guys have to look up the Wanda Oates story, and y'all see how impressive this is. She was the first female men's basketball and men's football coach nationwide. Yeah. So, totally outside of it. And then we have Jesse here. We're Ward 4, you said? 1? I'm sorry. Yeah. And Jennifer, she's 4. Okay. And then we're 8. So anyhow, we did a collaborative effort. We started off with the fact of what was our priorities. And we started off with the idea that the calculator needed to be out from the beginning. So there was no readjusting after we got done. Our priority is in education. We took the average of everyone's around the table. We said that there needed to be 43% of that $100 in education. And even specifically, we identified that there needed to be an allocation of half of that to youth and half of that to actual programs to help tutor children to achieve certain levels. So we didn't we didn't just leave it at 43%. There was some allocation discussion about facilities in the elementary schools, but that's neither here nor there. Our next priority was centered in health and human services, and we allocated 20% of those dollars there. Our next two priorities, and I don't mean to gloss over that because there is some concern. I understand that we unfortunately had a homeless person that died on the streets while they were waiting for housing last week or the week before, so that's really unfortunate. We want to make sure that doesn't happen. There are two also, 14% and 14% on jobs and economic opportunity and housing. We want to be very clear that that 14% is for low-income housing and not affordable housing. We want to make sure. Everybody want to raise the roof on that, right? Raise the roof, stand up, do the wave. Okay, good. And then we have jobs and economic opportunity. Unfortunately, in Ward 8, we have, what is it, like 8 times the national average in unemployment. And we feel very strongly that we need to address that, and we need to address that specifically with programs to say, okay, if we have 10 African American people who are unemployed that are greater than the national average, then by the end of the year, we need a performance measure that says 5 of those are now employed. We need specific, actionable things in this area as opposed to just a blanket. And then we think that government operations and public safety, we divided it half and half there. We believe that we need to implement the cost-back model for the agencies and make sure that they have their budgets adjust and even out, so that if they're over, then they need to figure out what program they need to do to get their own money. We like lean operations there. And then the same thing there. So that's it. All right? Here, because Ballou needs to stay Ballou. And we are now starting a citywide campaign. We don't want our school renamed, and we would like for you all to support the renaming of the new all-male school after Marion Barry. Leave our school alone. Thank you.
I just want to acknowledge one of my educators that's going to be working on a movie and book about my career in DCPS, Mary Lloyd. Would you kind of stand up? She's on our State Board of Education. She's on our State Board of Education. I got to get your autograph tonight. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Table 19. A lot of people want to talk. Who's Table 3? You're right here. Let's hear how you allocated the $100. Did anybody at Table 3 change their mind? They come in promoting one area and then got convinced to tweak how they would spend the money.
Yeah, so my name's Todd Brogan. I'm from Ward 4. I live 2 blocks away on Georgia and Webster. So give it up for Roosevelt because I hear their marching band all the time. So we started out pretty equally across the board for every service, but after a lot of discussion, we had people with some specific issues. We had people who wanted to make sure that their kids got the same services and funding regardless of what building they walked into. We had folks worried about public safety. We had people worried about infrastructure in the district, especially buses and roads. We had people worried about making sure that there's adult and family education funding. We also had paid family leave, which we all support. All right. We also, right here, this brother holding the sign is a DC circulator bus operator. So give it up for the bus operators. Currently, they make on average $8 an hour less than the Metro bus operator to drive the same streets. So what we want is $3 million in the annual budget, $3 million in the annual budget to make sure that he can afford to live in the city that he serves. How do we feel about that? All right, we're hoping the mayor will help us with that. So we gave 20 to education, 15 to public safety, 15 to jobs and economic opportunity, 15 to housing, 25 to government operations, because that's where the circulator lives. And we eliminated, by the way, the Office of the Chief Technology Officer. We figure that'll give us some more room. Sorry. And we have 15% to Health and Human Services to balance the budget.
All right. I think we're going to do one more table, but first I want to ask, we asked you to spend $100. Did anybody go over $100 and raise taxes? right. All right, I think the final table is going to be table 18 over here in the back.
Oh, y'all gonna hug it? Okay. I just wanted to make one point. We had individuals from 7 out of the 8 wards here at my table. Freddie here from Ward 1 is going to give us the breakdown for our budget.
All right. Hello, everybody. So my name is Freddie from Ward 1. And yeah, we did have to fight to agree on this budget. All right, so I'll start with the highest. So the highest was $30 in health and human services. Again, because we had to fight and we did think about our older population and health and services as well. So we put almost all of our money over there. The next is education, 19%. We believe that education is a pretty valuable weapon for young people to have, so that's why it's the second highest. The next highest are 3 of them: job and economic opportunities, housing, and government operations. All of those were given $14 each. And then we have public safety. I don't know if it's just me because I live in Ward 1, but Ward 1 is pretty safe. So we really didn't put a whole bunch of money over there because we did think the city was doing a great job with safety around the district. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you all. And I know a lot of people wanted to talk, and that's why you had somebody at your table, and they're all going to let me know what you had to say. So please, your voices are heard, I promise. And I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Bowser. Thank you.
Well, thank you, everybody. This has been the most energetic budget session I've ever been to. And give yourselves a round of applause. So now you can see what we have to go through because all of the categories are deserving, right? We need them all to have a safe and vibrant and growing, inclusive, prosperous city. But still, there have to be choices made. So I'm glad that you spent some time with us helping us make those choices. So we're going to collect, right, the big sheets, and then we'll be able to average. And then after the 3 budget sessions, we will have a sense of how the people who participated want to spend that $100. So I heard all of the issue areas that have popped up around the table, around education and schools funding and paid family leave. And I heard the issue about the DC circulator. And we heard about low-income housing as opposed to affordable housing. We heard about senior citizens in Washington, D.C. And all of those things, and I got to walk around and talk to most of the tables and hear feedback from you. So I really appreciate this, and I can promise you this, we're going to build the best budget. We got a compliment last year when we did the budget from a lot of people that it was one of the best budgets for investing in human services and education and including more Washingtonians in our prosperity. And we're going to try to raise the bar this time. Okay, thank you, everybody. Be safe getting home. And I'll try to stick around for a few minutes at the front. If we didn't have a chance to say hi, please say hi.